wasn't right, yet I was right by your side. You manipulator, playing games, your friends commentators, and I don't know what you say about our private conversations, but it's got them hating. Thanks to all the rumors you be claiming. It's cool, I'm done with you, so they can throw you a celebration. You gon' hate it when you see me with somebody living better. I'm trying to tell you that me just doing me gon' have you jealous.
Sorry about that, folks. My microphone got disconnected there. Let me just double check the sound quality now. Let me just double check. Sounds good, sound check. All right, welcome back to the program. Today, Monday, February 3rd, 2025. South Africa awakened to some really bad news from Donald Trump. For those of you who missed my live broadcast last night, which took place less than an hour after Trump put his tweet out initially, I went live last night for 3.5 hours. We had over 10,000 people tune in for that. Thank you for all those who joined us last night, for those who become subscribers since then and recently. And then I appeared on Gareth Cliff's program last night to give an update about what's going on. And from there, I went again and did another live broadcast, which picked up another 8,000 subscribers or viewers last night. Thank you for that, for tuning in for my analysis. I also, at 3 o'clock, 3:20, 3:30 in the morning, recorded an interview with Biz News, which was just released. That link is pinned at the top of this chat if you want to check out the Biz News video about the impact of this and what's going on. I will be appearing on Ronaldo Khul's program after the end of this program. We're going to switch over at the top of the hour. You'll be automatically redirected to Ronaldo's program. So, yeah, as you can imagine, I've been a little bit busy with about 3 hours sleep for the past 2 days, but that's fine. We're doing well. We got some of this loaded with sugar and caffeine Frappuccino right here. Juice up. It's like mainlining cocaine. Oh, my goodness. All right. Well, let me say hello to everybody in the chat and then give you some updates on what's going on with the channel. And I will also then get into the news. We'll focus on expropriation without compensation and the Democratic Alliance. I just published a video moments ago, just before the top of the hour. It took me a little while to get all the facts together, but it's shocking the Democratic Alliance is defending. They are defending expropriation without compensation. For those of you who voted for the Democratic Alliance, I don't know if you're regretting, you have buyer's remorse, but you voted for a party that in coalition now defends a bill that they spent 6 years opposing, trying to mealy-meal mouthpiece us into telling us that, well, Trump just doesn't understand. It's like listening to DJ Jazz Jeff and the Fresh Prince. Parents just don't understand. No, we do understand. We understand modern standard written English. We can read the South African Constitution, Section 25, and we can read the expropriation without compensation bill that became a law. It's pretty simple. The word nil means zero, non-existent. Nix, nada, and yet, nine to Bahnhof, there is nothing. When you pay somebody zero compensation, and they're trying to mealy mouth, well, Trump just misunderstands because, you can't just arbitrarily take the property. No one said it was arbitrary. You were trying to do that to distract. You're just like the ANC. How is this different than the ANC? Well, really, we're not really doing that. No, you are doing that. The law does require that you negotiate, and if you can't reach a decision, then you confiscate. So how is that a negotiation? You come to me and tell me, I want your car. Yeah, but I'm not willing to sell it. Well, we'll give you $1,000. $1,000 is worth $25,000. Well, all right, we'll give you $3,000. No, I'm not interested in selling. Well, you know what? It's in the public interest. We needed to transport school children around. So give us the car. Give us the keys. No. And then they take it. They go to the courts. The courts say it's in the public interest. They can take it for zero compensation. Now I get nothing. That's what the law says. Don't be misled by these clowns. The Democratic Alliance, I have not trying to be anti-Democratic Alliance, but this is insane. They have publicly defended the expropriation without compensation law. What are they smoking their socks? It's unbelievable. Wow, I bet you Ronaldo Khuz is glad he's not in the party anymore. Nick Muller's here. Charles Finance and the cat is well and truly out of the bag. Brown Poser screwed. He cannot wriggle his way out of this one. And then double down with Trump is just political suicide. Yes, no. But let's listen to the Cyril Ramaphosa. We've heard Cyril talk before on this topic. Oh, yes, no. He talks a big game. I will tell Donald Trump. I will go there and tell him how he's wrong. Yeah, let's listen to Cyril on this one.
And we've been saying, over this issue of the land.
Yes.
This issue that Donald Trump fears so much.
Donald Trump fears so much. If you think, Cyril Ramaphosa, that Donald Trump sits awake at night going, oh my God, what's happening in South Africa? They're taking the land. They're eating the dogs. They're eating the cats. If you really think that Donald Trump gives two shakes about South Africa, you're confused. You're very confused. People near Trump care about this. They reach Trump and they got through. And maybe they showed him my video from last week. Anyway, but yeah, Donald Trump fears South Africa's land. No. Cyril, you are just a little delusional there. This is a populist loser speaking to a low information crowd of people that lick up these lies as if it's bubblegum. Well, bubblegum, I can't lick bubblegum like it's like a melting ice cream cone. There you go.
We offer this question of the land. I don't know what Donald Trump has to do with South African land.
Hey, you're right. He doesn't have anything to do with South African land. So get over yourself.
Because he's never been here. And he must keep his America. We will keep our South Africa.
Away, Amandla! Away, Amandla!
That's what he must do. South Africa is our land.
Ooh,
South Africa belongs to all the people who live here in South Africa. It does not belong to Donald Trump.
No, it doesn't. But apparently it doesn't belong to the legal, lawful landowners who purchased the land legitimately in South Africa in the last 30 years under majority rule South African national government. So apparently, it doesn't belong to all South Africans because you're going to steal it. You're going to expropriate it. But again, folks, don't get lost in the minutia or the stray voltage out here. It's not about land. It's about property. Yes. Away, Amandla.
He can keep his America.
I'm not going to play the rest because then he says his forebears stole the land. Donald Trump's forebears came from Germany less than a century ago. He's not from America long-term like I am. My forebears came here in 1621. So if you want to blame somebody, blame me. In fact, my first ancestor in America was the first royal governor of the Jamestown colony, Virginia, Sir Francis Wyatt, my 17th great uncle. My 7th great uncle arrived and the Powhatan Indians attacked the English settlers, killing 343 men, women, and children, nearly wiping out the colony. It was not a high percentage, but frightening the hell out of people, bejesus out of people. And so he organized a militia. He fought back against the Powhatan Indians and obliterated them. They disappeared and merged into other tribes and never existed as a tribe ever again of any substance. So yeah, so if you want to blame people for wiping out the Indians, you can blame me. But hey, they started it. Oh my goodness. Elon's been watching and planning for long years. I don't think so. Greg is back. Once again, the Colonel broke the news to me. I was at work and saw he was live. I listened a few minutes before returning to my duties. Here come big trouble. Yep. Isn't it amazing how I can be here in my studio, which was a sitting room that I turned into a studio, using this software on this platform and break news that people don't know about around the world? It's just amazing, isn't it? That's not a boast. I mean, it's pretty cool to be able to do that. I don't get to break a lot of stories, but this was another I got to break. Minus 27 in Alberta. Tony, that's cold, man. Ooh, minus 27 Celsius. Little boy Rama trying to play big with the big people. Yeah. He can leave South Africa alone is what he said. Well, okay. Well, we are leaving you alone. You're missing the point. Cyril, we are leaving you alone. We are. That's exactly what Trump is doing. Hey, you want us to leave you alone? It's your business. You can do what you want. We'll leave you alone. No more money. Okay. So let's see. That's for the South African government. That's no money, 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 no money. Oh, look, there's no more money. Sorry. You're going to have to come up with $400 million a year to treat people for HIV, provide them antiretrovirals, do counseling and testing. You're going to have to come up with the money to take care of your tuberculosis program. You're going to have to come up with the money to pay to send your soldiers to foreign military schools. You're going to have to come up with the money. Oh, peacekeeping, which money we give to the African Union and money we give to the United Nations. You're going to have to come up with that money if you wanted to participate in MONUSCO in the Democratic Republic of Congo. Oh, by the way, your goods and services coming into America with a 2% advantage discount, which you don't give us reciprocity. No more. Your wine, your BMW parts, your biltong now has a 2% surcharge on it as soon as Trump makes that the rule, which he'll be doing soon. Count on it. And on top of that, we don't owe you anything and we're not interfering. Isn't it ironic to hear Donald Trump can keep his America to himself? Get out of South Africa. It's exactly what we're doing. We're leaving South Africa to its own devices. And that upsets you. Really? But isn't it shocking to see the Democratic Alliance defending expropriation without compensation? I mean, it's mind-boggling. It's beyond comprehension. I mean, what the hell? Seriously? Wow. Something going on with Jan Fion in the Bosveld. What's going on in the Bosveld? Chris Ehlers, Val Cooper, Tony Nash, Charles Van Olsen, the voice of reason. There are suddenly so many experts in South African Trump. Some prof from one of the universities was coming. He's already clearly Nigerian, but he's an AOL expert. Yeah, exactly. IOL expert. Oh, IOL, the toilet paper of record. While I wait, I'm listening to Ronaldo from 2 hours ago. Why don't you watch my stuff from 2 hours ago? I watched that earlier. He has more accurate and more informative view on current events. Who does? More accurate than whom, Charles? What are you talking about? You watched something earlier and you're telling Greg, and he has a more accurate and informative view on the current events. The professor? Ronaldo? Who? Just got off work and do the shopping. Okay. Val? Okay. Nick Muller. And then Charles says, some white female prof was stating how Trump is inaccurate because he used the word confiscation instead of expropriation. Oh, okay. I'm sorry. Let's look up the definition of confiscation versus expropriation. Is there a difference? Yeah. Well, there's a minor difference, but it really doesn't matter. Oh my goodness. That's what they're going to parse. They're going to quibble over the use of a verb. Expropriation versus confiscation. It's just ludicrous. There are other reasons to be upset. And they're not reading the room. They're missing. Trump said, hey, this isn't it. There's more. There's more coming. And it's about more than just expropriation. They went right past them through one ear and out the other because there's nothing in between. Apparently for the DA who write the press statements, there's nothing in between the gray matter. Ants is back. Welcome, Ants. We will see how brave Squirrel is. He already pissed off Rwanda. Yeah, Ronald Pose. Who's next? Who's he going to piss off next? Tehran? His paymaster? It's theft of land, plain and simple. Yep, exactly, Jan. Well, just like in the 30s. Yeah, that's right. The Nazis did the same thing. Yep. Malcolm Clody's back. Malcolm, how's your boat, man? We haven't heard from you in a while. Are you okay? Is there poo water in the bay? And Arc Precision is here. Tom Smith. Yeah, quibbling over semantics. Exactly, Tom. Oh, it's not expropriation. It's confiscation. It's not confiscation. Oh, please. Good Lord. What else? All right, that was before we got started. Vilma Rasmus is here. Anne Marie Nell is in. Charles, exactly how do they think they're so smart when they do it? I actually find it very insulting. Yep. Pablo Charlie's in. Buenas noches from the Netherlands. Welcome to you. Tanya De Beer's back. Evenings from a hot Mpumalanga. That's one of those names, it's kind of easy to grasp. Gauteng was okay. Mpumalanga. But I mean, some of these names like Itaquini and Ekuherlini and Ehamahalini, that just gets to be a bit much. But, Mpumalanga, that just kind of rolls off the tongue. Jean-Tel van Heerden says, good evening, infidels. Heathens, I think is the term we prefer to use. Wie is the girl? Love Halidis. Oh, who is the girl? That is Giselle. Giselle is from Grootfontein in Namibia. She's actually childhood friends, best friend with Beata Levine, the Chica model for Victoria's Secret who married Adam Levine from Maroon 5. That was her best friend growing up. So the best exports from Namibia tend to be boeremeisie, apparently, uranium and boeremeisie, because Giselle left. She's in South Africa where she performs, and Beata linked up in knock boots with Adam Levine. So there you go. All right, so Adam Levine, yep. That's who that is, Jean-Tel, and she's a very, very good singer. She suffered a bout of cancer for about 18 months and has recovered. Has a lovely young daughter who now is unbelievably like 5, going on 6 years old. She's just a little baby when we started doing this. A personal friend of mine. And so we'll bring you more of Giselle because she's back and performing now. Cody Lombard is back. Welcome to you. And then we got Debbie says, busy on Gareth, Biz News. Loved all your updates. Thank you, Debbie. What else? Chris is an AI with Santa beard with Viking blood. Panama president's already backing down. Yep. And Mexico just backed down. And so Trump eased the sanctions. Mexico just agreed to deploy 10,000 troops to the border with the U.S. So Donald Trump gave him a 30-day grace period to fix the border. So there you go. Sanctions don't work. Oh, okay. Well, let's see how much chicken the ANC wants to play. Faith Naidu. Welcome, Faith. Leah Minar is here. Leah, how's it going? Jean-Tel says, wants to know where Tanya's from in Mpumalanga. Okay. Who else we got here? Dees Barham. Welcome, George. Good to see you there again. Boy, I haven't seen George in person in a while. George's a really good guy, man. George took me around. I was able to get some great photos because I didn't have to drive for once. We had a fantastic tour in the Western Cape. Gave me accommodation. Really, it was hot as hell, though, but because it was summertime, but I appreciate it. But the aircon did work in the bedroom. Thank you for that. I was able to stream. It was a little challenging, but got it to work there. George, really good guy. Also, met me at the airport, man. He was fantastic, and saw me off my first trip. Also gave me a really nice gift. Thank you for that, George. Peter, how's it? Well, it's going all right, Peter. How you doing? Which Peter is that? I can't see very clearly. That's not the one from New Zealand. Charmaine is here. Garrett Gillich in from Somerset West. And I'm sure I'm missing people. There's Beth Frazier here in the U.S. Janet Lydian from South Carolina. Jillian Smith, welcome to you. Hendo Doink. Okay, Doink, welcome to you. Paul's here. Hey, Paul Farrell. Good to see you, Paul. Welcome to you. Is there now 100% tariffs on the BRICS countries? No, that hasn't happened yet. It hasn't happened. That's probably coming in the next month if something doesn't happen. That one will cause disruptions. Limpopo land scandal. In Limpopo, land claim was settled, but corruption ensured the land did not reach the claimants. Instead, it was reportedly bought by and inflated prices by politically connected. Probably. Instead, it was reported, politically connected individuals to the government failing to follow through on promises to give back the land. Yep, exactly. Just like Zimbabwe. Zacharias Joubert says, Chris, your thoughts on total tax uprise, meaning no tax payments if you're able to. I'm not really sure. If you're asking me if I would endorse a tax revolt, I don't endorse the disobeying the rule of law. I encourage people to operate inside the law. I understand where you're coming from. I think if you want that, you're going to have to talk to Willem Petzer. Anton just subscribed. Thank you for that. I'm not an advocate for doing that. Nova, is that Nova Rockefeller? Can you get Tom McDonald on my program? The biggest loss so far in my life is my vote I've given to the DA. Yeah, that's a big loss, man. Amanda Duval is my friend. She's a supermodel, Cindy Crawford. Ooh, Chrissy, I didn't know that. But she's getting up there in years now. No, I don't recognize the name. I'm happy that the word is being spread around the world, but not looking forward to left trying to damage to downplay it. Well, they are downplaying it already, Nova. They are downplaying it. They're trying. Nomad says, I still don't get why there are people supporting ANC. Well, because they're just poorly informed. AI Creators become a member. Thank you for that. Thank you for your membership. Although the Richtersville community won back their land, which included diamond mining rights, corruption, mismanagement, and Lexor meant that the community did not benefit. No doubt. Low IQ's back. South Africa's in a tunnel, and there's a bright light approaching fast. Yeah. It's a train. It's a train coming through the tunnel. Sanctions against the ANC has to happen. Doink, hold on to your socks, man, because it's coming. I suspect that today or later this week, Trump will announce suspension of AGOA for South Africa. And then he'll hold off until after Rubio meets with the South African government in 3 weeks' time. And if we don't get a satisfactory answer, or if South Africa's political parties have not gone and done a Section 80 appeal to the Constitutional Court before the 30-day window closes to get this law determined unconstitutional, then I suspect Trump will apply sanctions on the ANC in particular and possibly on South Africa. So we'll see. Hold on your head. Almost 30,000 subscriptions. Well, I don't know about that. We're getting there, but where are we at? I didn't look lately. So we're at 27,470. So a little bit slow growing today, but we're getting closer to 30,000. We need 300,000 though, folks. If you want the Wyatt Army to have an impact and movement, we speak much louder. It's like Solidarity and AfriForum have a louder voice because they've got more people. We need more people to subscribe. So yesterday, we got 25,733. Whoa, yesterday, 25,733 to 27. So that's 1,400 yesterday. Today, we started 27,094. So we're about 400 so far today, but it's just midday. So we'll see how it goes. Maybe I can gain more. By the way, we've had more viewers in the last 48 hours on this channel than we've had in the history of this channel, going back 4.5 years, or 3.5 years, 2021, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, so 3.5 years. And then we have the highest number of subscribers. And for 4 consecutive days in a row, we've had over 85,000 views on the program. It's awesome. Thank you for that. And I got to tell you, we were talking about why subscriptions matter, why subscribers matter. Folks, it's because the larger your audience, the more interaction with your audience, the more chat you do, the more likes or dislikes you put down, the more comments you put in the video, the more YouTube's algorithm grabs it and pushes it forward. And the larger audience we can reach. Look at all the people who've joined us just in the past month, in the past week, who've joined us and having this conversation. And people are like, well, who are you? What's your background? How do you know this? What about that? They know nothing about me, even though I've been doing this for 5 years publicly. So it's great for people to find out, and we can get it. Yeah, wow, tariffs work. Yep. Who would have guessed? That's right, Dave Renke. Look, I don't like tariffs, and I criticized Trump for his tariffs on China the first time around because I didn't think they would achieve anything. And as far as I'm concerned, they didn't achieve a whole lot. So I was correct in my concern. But yeah, this time it's working. What's going on? The DA statement back. It's the final nail in their coffin. I agree. There you go, Evie. And then we got Rodwolf and Dave Zuli Hanslip and Stephen Van Wyk all get a gifted membership from Erica. Thank you for that, Erica. I'll salute this group, but if we keep getting new membership gifts, I appreciate that, but I'm not going to be able to salute everybody. We got to get through the news here because I'm only on for an hour. Greg says, oh, that's Erica. Thank you for your generosity. Hendo saying thank you, Erica. Chris Bodenhorst, welcome for recruit team member. Chris, haven't you been doing this for a long time? Where's it at? I'm waiting for it to come up. All right, so yeah, we need to get to this stuff. I'm going to read 2 statements by the South African government now. Cyril Ramaphosa, and I'm going to just eviscerate, just like the Three Musketeers, or Zorro. Stephen van Wyk. Trevor Bezuidenhout says, afternoon, Chris. Thanks for your channel and doing the good groundwork and the true news. You're welcome. It's my pleasure. I've been doing it for a while. And then a symbol I can't understand says, I sub to you today as well. Love the content you make. Thank you. You're very welcome, Vanessa. Thank you. Duval Pretoria says, good day, sir. Hopefully you can have a brief with Trump, as I don't think anyone in the U.S. knows South Africa like you. No, I don't think that Joel Pollack knows South Africa like I do. And I know that Elon Musk doesn't know South Africa like I do. He may be a billionaire. He may have grown up and gone to high school there, but he doesn't know South Africa the way I do. So the National Party has its faults. Greg Smuts has its faults, but they handle the sanctions in South Africa. No, they won't be able to handle this. How do sanctions work on persons? Well, sanctions, if they're applied, can work on an individual basis, and it depends what the sanction is. So there can be travel restrictions like there are against Zimbabwe's ZANU-PF corrupt officials and human rights abusers who are not allowed to travel to New York or London. They can't fly there. They're banned from entry. Even if they're diplomats, they can't come there. So that can be imposed. The other thing that can be imposed is that individual sanctions, financial sanctions, you're banned from using the SWIFT transfer process to move money around the planet. You can have your personal business on a list that's sanctioned so that no one can trade with you. If you are a U.S. person, not a U.S. citizen, a U.S. person, which is foreign nationals who have green cards and businesses that are majority owned by Americans or registered in America. If you are a U.S. person, that includes all those entities, then you can be sent to jail for doing business with someone who's sanctioned. So you got to be really careful about that. Treasury takes it quite seriously, as does the Justice Department. No jackass Ramaphosa tonight. Explicit. Yeah. So Ramaphosa is fond of doing his conversations, his family meetings. He needs to have a family meeting now to explain himself, but he's not doing it. Yep. So let me get back to the chat here real quick. Delaray says, what's your opinion on financial immigration-based everything that's going on in South Africa? I'm not asking financial advice, just your opinion. If you're asking me if it's a wise idea to move to Malta or to Curacao or the Turks and Caicos or something like that, that's up to you. I find it sad and disappointing that South Africans have to leave their home. By the way, hang on a second. I'm getting called over here. Yeah, sorry, I was being beckoned over to the side. Let me introduce my friend Cyril, the Jackass Penguin. This is my friend Cyril. If you don't know Cyril, he's from Boulders. Fraser Farrell, thank you for subscribing. Yes, this is Cyril, my friend, the Jackass Penguin. He was just summoning me over there. I'm going to put him there because he likes to talk to me anyway. So. National Party has its faults. Okay, got that already. So sanctions can affect people directly if countries or companies are McChrystal. Sanctions and tariffs are different. So sanctions can prevent you from doing business or interacting with someone. Tariffs are simply taxes placed on things to affect change or to raise revenue. DeVault says, yeah, I wish I'd get a brief with Trump. ANC wants to block all minerals to the U.S. Good. Go ahead. What do you got? Platinum? Keep it. Gold? We don't need your gold. Iron? We got plenty of iron. That's what the Upper Peninsula of Michigan's for. No, keep it to yourself. And if you don't sell it to us, you'll sell it to someone else, and we'll just buy the products that they don't. See, this is the problem with this. They're going to say, we're not going to sell them iron ore. Okay. We'll get the iron ore from somewhere else. The people that are getting it from somewhere else now, if you make it available to them, they buy it from you, then what they're not buying from the other place, we can buy. It doesn't work unless every country does it. Oh, my goodness. Keith says, I'm going to keep at it. No, Keith, get in as much as you want, folks. We can't forget those who have been with us all along. How does sanctions work in persons? I think I just answered that. Jacques Vint is back. Welcome to you. You can also say hi. Nick Groves is here. Nick is also taking a back seat to the new folks. Kurtz Verhoeven. I'd love to know when Trump will sanction these caters. I think we all would. Milky Llama. Is that like Milky Lane? Oh, I don't like their ice cream. Arc Precision Scott. Nick Jordan says assets frozen, at least dollar assets. Yep. G Sawyer says General Milley. What about General Milley? It zipped ahead on me here. Where is G Sawyer? There it is. General Milley also poked the bear and found out, how can you be a decorated general, make these utterances and posturings against your commander-in-chief? He was conflicted and should have resigned. Actually, he should have been prosecuted under the Uniform Code of Military Justice for his actions. for insubordination, among other things. Yeah, General Milley got off lightly, but he's still got a lot he's going to have to answer for. I don't know who he thought he was. These people drink the Kool-Aid and think that Trump is evil and that they can get away with what they want. Well, they're finding out the hard way. Freya Menzel, welcome to you. Fanny Bierman, the Great Awakening for South Africa. Probably. Follow the money. That idiot, disingenuous, pathetic news anchor Stephen Grutz was beyond rude with AfriForum Ernst van Zyl. I didn't see that. Yeah, I don't. It's so I look. They're all being rude. They're blaming AfriForum for this. It's not AfriForum. Trust me. Oh, I wish I could say more. But it's not AfriForum. It's not AfriForum. Thank you for that. We need that. I jumped again. Really hope Trump does not fall for the ANC sob stories and promise you can't trust. No, don't fall for him. Delaray has become a member. Thank you for that. Thank you, Delaray. I'll keep my EU passport for only when this mojo goes tits up. Yeah, you should keep that passport if you got one. And a text message disappeared. That's why I can't read anymore. Bobbers don't break down. Good evening to you. Nick Rose says he was very conflicted and pushing a different agenda. I don't think he heard what he wanted to hear. Who? Cyril? Okay. Why say penguin? They might call you racist. Declare a squirrel an oligarch. There you go. Make him a Russian oligarch. Squirrel brays more than that little guy. That's right. That's right, Charles. I can't do donkey sounds, but they are jackass penguins. They're not African penguins. You can dress them up all you want, but they're jackass penguins. Thank you, Valerie. Valerie Zeitzman just became a member. Wow, people become members. Thank you, Krista DeBeer. I'm a proud Cape Townian. I've lost respect for the DA. I think a lot of people have. They'll try to get the lost funds from China and other countries. It's not going to happen. Guaidi isn't the smartest fish in the middle. Oh, maybe they'll get $100 million commitment from the Chinese and go, see, we're okay. Citizens have Zen. Illegals make you ill. Novus, I nearly cast my first ever vote for the DA last year. Very happy I didn't, but now I really hope the Freedom Front sticks to its morals, roots, and doesn't become absorbed in the ANC too. Never allowed him to finish, kept ambushing him with his agenda, as you say. All right, yeah, I didn't see it, so. No iPad. Where's my iPad? Someone stole my iPad. Such a joke that we think we give it free. They are the ones plundering our country. Exactly. Stephen is paid by the mainstream media is dead. Too cuddly, that's cute. It is important to recognize that they're blaming Afrikaners via AfriForum. Yeah, well, exactly. And you should expect that. I'll probably do a video on that after I see some more footage of these people putting their foot in their mouth, blaming them for that. We already saw Herman Mashaba calling Ernst van Zyl treasonous. He said he committed treason by encouraging the U.S. government to pay attention to what's happening in South Africa and calling for sanctions against the people committing these crimes. That's what the ANC did. So were they treasonous, Herman? That's what black South Africans, colored South Africans, white South Africans did under apartheid. They called for the West to put sanctions on South Africa. So were they treasonous? But maybe being treasonous is the end thing to be. Narcissists cannot self-reflect. They can't. Franz von Tonder says Steenhuisen is something. I didn't see it. I think Trump, we are stopping aid to countries that hate us, and that is fair. People need help inside. Yep. I think Anthony Fauci really quiet. Yeah, Fauci's very quiet with good reason. Okay, Debbie says, welcome. It's been a while since before I've seen Debbie put that cool. She's got that pre-set up with the lights and the notifications. Chris Human says, Uman, welcome to you. The only Uman I know is Devald Uman. He was a great little rugby player. Sevens. Doink says, hey, Chris, have you read Clone Skussen's The Naked Communist? No, I haven't seen that. All right, Robert Franklin Moore is back. Good to see you back again. And please send your regards and well wishes to Mr. Trump. All right, ladies and gentlemen, this is from, we're a half hour into this. Got to double check if I'm still going live with Ronaldo. Hang on a second. I actually got to set this up. Zoom session. Let me do that really quickly. Sorry. Schedule a meeting. Okay, 12 to 1. Save. That's pretty easy to do. I have to change the title, and I got to send this to Ronaldo. Okay. Let's start the meeting. Copy invitation. There we go. And I'll send that to Ronaldo so I can be there. Okay, there we go. Paste. Boom. All right, so he's got it now. Okay, so Africa's national corruption. Yeah. I prefer to call them the angry, naughty children. Did you guys at least get your 27th booster? Yes, I got my 25th this morning, not the 27th. All right, so Cyril Ramaphosa posted the following tweet. I'm going to read it in its entirety. I'll show you what it looks like so you know that I'm not just smoking my socks. And here's what it looks like. That's on Twitter. All right, it's not on the ANC's page, and the ANC as a party is not responding. ANC senior politicians are. There's a distinction. Whereas the Democratic Alliance as a party has put forward a press release defending expropriation. So, President Ramaphosa looks forward to engaging with President Trump over issues of bilateral interest and concern. Really? You didn't say that last week. You didn't say that January 22nd. South Africa is a constitutional democracy that's deeply rooted in the rule of law, justice, and equality. Now, it's all about inequality, and there is no justice in South Africa. The South African government has not confiscated any land. That's actually not true. You have used expropriation and paid people with that, so that's a lie. It's a lie. The recently adopted Expropriation Act is not a confiscation instrument, but a constitutionally mandated legal process that ensures public access to land in an equitable and just manner as guided by the Constitution. That's a lie. The law allows for the government to make an offer to you, and if you refuse, then they can take you to court and take your land for nothing, or take your property for nothing. Pretty simple. The reason that they want this expropriation is so they can take your pension funds and your property, not just land. They can compensate you for land, but when they take your R500,000 in retirement account away from you, what are they going to give you? R500,000? No, they give you nothing. That's why they want nil compensation. South Africa, like the United States of America and other countries, has always had expropriation laws that balance the need for public usage of land and the protection of rights of property owners. That's 100% true. Morche Sneeman, welcome to you. Thank you for subscribing. That is true. That's 100% correct. Cyril Ramaphosa tells the truth for once. South Africa, like the United States of America and other countries, has always had expropriation laws that balance the need for public usage of land and the protection of rights of property owners. 100%. Section 25 is perfect. There's nothing wrong with it. So why don't you simply follow it? We look forward to engaging with the Trump administration over our land reform policy and issues of bilateral interests. No, you don't. You're just getting called out, and now you want to talk. We are certain that out of those engagements, we will share a better and common understanding over these matters. Really? The U.S. remains a key strategic political and trade partner of South Africa, with the exception of PEPFAR aid, which constitutes 17% of South Africa's HIV/AIDS program. There is no other funding that is received by South Africa from the United States. That's actually factually incorrect. That money doesn't go to South Africa government, which is what he's implying. He doesn't say South Africa, but that's a lie. So he's saying that our money only goes to HIV. You're a liar. You're a liar, Cyril Ramaphosa, and I will expose you right now once again for the liar that you are. All right, let's just take a look at where the money went. $440 million last year. All right, let me just run through some of the programs. This is from the State Department's foreignassistance.gov website. You can look it up. I'm not making it up. Hey, Ngema, welcome back there, man. All right, so here we go. Top activities, $36.58 million for the Accelerating Program of Achievements, APACE, $24 million for Accelerating Program Achievements to control epidemics, Safeguarding Advances in Tuberculosis Treatment, that's not HIV. Accelerating Programs in Control of Epidemiological Issues, that's not HIV. That's $12 million. Community-based violence prevention linkages for gender-based violence, that's $8 million. That's not HIV. Prosper Africa Trade and Investment, that's not HIV. Southern Africa Mobilizing Investment Activity, that's not HIV. School-based sexuality HIV prevention, that is HIV. And the money goes to the Inova Health Institute, $39 million. Broad Reach Corporation, $24 million. Right to Care, an NGO, for $19 million. $16 million to the University of Witwatersrand. Think TB and HIV Network, unspecified vendors. And the money is spent on HIV/AIDS, basic health, agriculture, trade policy and regulations, emergency response, government and civil society, energy, business and other services, and basic education. Cyril Ramaphosa is a bold-faced liar. This is a matter of public record. It's a matter of public law. We can show you the receipts. I've just shown the receipts. He's smoking his socks, lying and saying that the only support that South Africa gets is in HIV. You're a liar. You're a liar. Your pants on fire. You get 27 Pinocchios out of 10 for that, Cyril Ramaphosa. You are a liar, and I'm calling you out for being a liar. Stop lying to the public. Stop misleading. Remember at Bloomberg in 2018, on the sidelines of the United Nations conference, Donald Trump is wrong. There are no farm murders in South Africa. No one's being killed on farms. No white farmers have been murdered. 4,000 white farmers and their family members have been tortured, murdered, and wiped off the face of the earth on farms since 1994. Get your facts right, Cyril. You are a liar, a liar. You've been caught again. Vaccine apartheid, vaccine apartheid. Sandy Duplessis, thank you. You didn't use your pharmaceutical industry to participate in the trials with AstraZeneca, with Moderna, with Johnson & Johnson. You sat on the sidelines and did nothing. We spent tens of billions of dollars to develop the jabs. You did nothing. You signed up for the COVAX scam. and got nothing out of it, and then blamed us because the UN was incapable of buying jabs. We were hoarding them. Well, we took the risk. We built them. And oh, by the way, remember the racists, the intellectuals in Africa? Oh, they're testing on black people. These racists, they're testing these COVID jabs on black people. A total fabrication, a total lie, and I called it out at the time. Nobody tested jabs on black people in Africa. That's nonsense. Who were the volunteers for the COVID trials? It was in the UK and the United States. Almost everyone that volunteered was white, as is typically the case, because they're the only people stupid enough to become, guinea pigs for these things. Never tested on black people. Now, by contrast, the malaria vaccine has been tested on black people. Why? Well, because there is no malaria in Nunavut. We're not going to test it in Greenland or Spitsbergen or Iceland where there's no freaking malaria. How do you know if it works? Oh, we inoculated 400,000 Icelanders and there's not a single case of malaria. Well, gee, I wonder why, because there ain't no freaking malaria there, genius. Go where the malaria's at. Thailand, India, KwaZulu-Natal, Rwanda, the DRC, Liberia. Good God. Anyway, so Cyril's lying. He's lying. And there you go. Trump is making a statement to the effect, your country, your problems, we are open to trade if you govern fairly. That's pretty good, Nick. I like that. That's pretty good. Ron Poser will talk on the 6th of February. Who wants to take a bet? It will be a long race-baiting speech claiming they are victims. Oh, I'll take that bet. You're right. Smoking old socks equals the ANC says explicit. My mother called Mandela the liar. He's a psychopathic snake. There you go. TB says he's lying because he knows most of his followers are gullible. You're right about that, man. I see the ANC now blames AfriForum for the fact Trump is taking notice. Yeah, they do, but that's not why it's taking notice. And AfriForum wants to take credit for it. They can, but it's not because of them. So Trump is confiscating the land, he says. It doesn't matter. Confiscation and expropriation without compensation, it's the same difference. You know what? If you take the land through a legal mechanism and don't pay someone for it, that's confiscation. You can dress it up and say it's okay. So, let me just turn this on its head. Okay, you ready? Are you ready? Cyril, you ready, Cyril? Okay, Cyril, my jackass penguin friend. You realize, Cyril, that when you take people's land and you justify it because it's necessary to create the Bantustans, because that's the homelands for these people. So we're going to create these Bantustans and send them to these places by confiscating land. That's in the public interest, so that's okay. Only it wasn't. The ANC wasn't cool with that. They weren't down with that. They weren't down with OPP. Nope. They weren't down with OPP. Wow. Yeah, so call it what you want. The DA calls it a tragedy that Donald Trump is and says we need to rethink the misconceptions. Ladies and gentlemen, here's the statement from the Democratic Alliance. Trevor Frost, thank you for your subscription. They are smoking their socks. The Democratic Alliance clarifies misconceptions and reaffirms the commitment to fostering strong U.S.-South Africa relations. First off, my question to the Democratic Alliance, which ministry are you responsible for? First off, so let's go beyond. So are you trying to tell us that the government of national unity is an integrated government, that you have DA members who work in all the ministries with all the other parties that are part of the GNO, all 10 of you? You're all working. So for instance, you have agriculture. Does that mean the ANC and the PA and the African Transformation Movement all have representatives in there? There's only one member of the ATM in Parliament, so I guess he goes everywhere. So are you all represented? So it's your position for everyone? Because I ask this because the minister of the Director for International Relations and Cooperative Governance is Ronnie Lamola. International Cooperation, excuse me. The director of International Cooperation, DIRCO, is Ronnie Lamola, ANC. The deputy minister is Alvin Boots, ANC. So both people in charge of the foreign policy for South Africa are ANC. What influence does the DA have? You reaffirm the commitment to foster relations. How are you fostering relations? How exactly? Are you sending Democratic Alliance representatives to D.C. to talk to people? Do you send the DA in outside the GNU to our embassy in Hatfield to talk to our counselors and to our ambassador and our deputy chief of mission? How exactly are you doing this, DA? I'm curious. How are you doing this? Please tell us. Tell us. They said, while the act does need to be amended to meet the sequencing requirements as highlighted by Public Works and Infrastructure Minister Dean McPherson, there are also opportunities to deal with other concerns that have been raised in the public since the assertion to the act. sequencing requirements. What sequencing requirements do you need? Does that mean that, okay, we're going to take your land, we're going to take your house, we're going to take your pension funds. But before we do that, we're going to do this step and that step and that step. And that step is your pension and your property are worth 2 million rand. We'll offer you 500,000. No. First off, I don't want to sell. This is my home. I grew up here. Why would I want to sell my home? Well, it's in the public interest. Why? Well, we need a clinic here. Can't you build a clinic over there in that open field? No. That belongs to the state. We need your land. Okay, I'll take 5 million. No, you'll take 500,000 or nothing. No, I refuse. That's okay. Court case, docket. You appear before the court. It's in the public interest. This racist South African refused to surrender their property for fair and just, equitable compensation of 500,000 rand. It's only worth 500,000. That's what the government's willing to pay. Courts decides that the government was more than generous and you get nothing, or 100,000 rand. Is that the sequencing requirement that you need, Democratic Alliance? However, it is not true that the act allows land to be seized by the state arbitrarily. Nobody's claiming that. Nobody claimed the land is being seized arbitrarily. You are parsing words. You're playing wordsmithing, and you're losing. The DA is dead. Moon Dancer just said it very clearly, and this is what a lot of South Africans are saying. If the DA is not condemned EWC in the strongest possible way and applauded Trump's comments, then they will definitely not be getting my vote again. Folks, maybe it's time for people who have their head not up their ass that are part of the Democratic Alliance to form their own party, and not an Action SA, now, but a real party, not a bossa, but a real party. Not just people who are bumhurt, but people who don't believe in the leftist tilt of the Democratic Alliance and its partner, the ANC. DA lost my vote. Next vote will go to the ANC at least. Then I know I won't get fucked. I wouldn't vote for them, Yappy. The education minister helped a lot with stopping Bella Bill. The Bella Bill hasn't been stopped, dropping a bucket. What planet are you on? What planet are you on? The Bella Bill is law. Or are you being facetious? I think you're being facetious. Lindrea's DA's lost my vote. Yep. Bye-bye, DA, says Jillian Smith. Many are waking up to the fact that DA is a left-wing copy and paste of U.S. Democrats. They have the same green cabal that finance them. Exactly, Nick. They do. Remember the head of ESCOM? Remember that guy? Mm-hmm. Remember him? That guy's a green energy lunatic. Yep. And the one they tried to assassinate and poison? Yep. He just loves green energy. He's running around the planet now doing it. Andre de Ruyter. Andre de Ruyter. Don't think the powers behind UN Agenda 2030 care how we vote. They will push their will. They left us in the outhouse. John bending over for cereal with the Diddy's baby oil. It's some baby oil. Oh, I wish I had a bottle of baby oil. I should make a video and go, John, do you need this? I'll put a white shirt on. We're going to the Diddy party. It's the DA going to the Diddy party. I should make a little skit about that. I was considering voting for the PA, but Gayton's flip-flop. Yeah, Gayton is back and forth. I may have him on as a guest. We'll see. I hope that's the case. We're looking to see if that happens, but hopefully that will happen. Let me take a look real quick here. Sultan Ahmet. That's a cool name. Sultan Ahmet. Wow. Thank you for joining. 27,540. Come on, folks. Keep subscribing. Get us up to 28,000 today. That'd be really cool. George Arnold, thank you for your subscription. They keep coming. That's awesome. So the DA defending the expropriation, I posted that 1 hour ago, and it's 7,000 the first hour. That's awesome. 27 new subscribers. Thank you for that. Wow, thank you guys for that. I really appreciate that. Please talk about the H-2A program. You mean the visa program? H-2B program. I'm not sure what you're talking about. You talking about the agricultural one? That's not. There's not time for that now. I've only got 10 minutes before I have to go with Ronaldo. So, and then there's Grown Up Problem Child. Thank you for subscribing. People are subscribing left and right on that one. By the way, my interview with Rob Hersoff, my conversation with him, had 5,000 on the live stream, but we had an audio problem, so I made it private for members only because I don't want to waste people's time. Ray Helm, thank you for subscribing. And I took the Zoom session, edited the the stuff out at the beginning and just put the interview in there and loaded it up. That one has 36,000 views, plus the other has 41,000. That's the best. And 825 plus another 50, 875 subscribers, almost 1,000 subscribers from my interview with Rob Herself. Thank you for that, Rob. And I think it was a Leka conversation with Rob that day. My land invasion video, let's see how that's doing. That's slowed down a lot, but it's still getting about 500 per hour. It's at 75,000. Thank you for that. Yeah. And the original Big Daddy that got this all rolling on the 31st is now at 175,000. That is the one with Donald Trump. Pretty cool. So thank you for that. Matthew Dixon doesn't like Rob. Matthew, you're a troll. Be quiet. Okay. John is entering his FW to cleric arc. Lead the EXDA voters, Russell Copeland. Yeah. Okay. You know, there's nothing that says I can't be involved with a political party in South Africa. You all want to start a political party? Hey, let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. You can't put a flower in an ass and call it a vase. Exactly. So glad you found your channel and for President Trump's action, learning so much from you. You're very welcome, Brenda Clark. Brenda, welcome to the program. Always nice to have the ladies join us. RJ says, what's up? Well, we're going to go over to Ronaldo here in about 5 minutes. You'll be directed over if you want to join us over there. Anton, 1,000 people losing their jobs, all from the same company to the Chinese. That's probably true. Jenny June says, we're so close to hell in South Africa. How do you even move on this in this slimy? Well, Jenny, all right, before we go anywhere, I'm going to cover this one more time. Some people weren't here at my 7 hours of live broadcasting yesterday and 2, or my appearance on Gareth Cliff, or my appearance on Biz News that happened all in the past 12 hours. So you may have missed this, but I'm going to bring this up. We're going to talk about this, okay? And then I'm going to show you Trump's comments about this. So let me get to this very quickly. And that's in this folder. And I'm going to tell you what can be done, okay? This is what can be done. The Freedom Front Plus said they would do it. I've heard no updates since they mentioned it. I'm going to reach out to Dr. Hernevald and ask, or I'll also reach out to Corne Mulder as well. So this is what must happen. It can be stopped. Lori Lettinen, where the hell have you been? Lori, thank God you're here. Man, we've been missing you. Been talking about Finland, and you've been missing in action. All right, so this is what can be done, ladies and gentlemen. This is called an application to by members of the National Assembly to the Constitutional Court to declare legislation unlawful. Okay, well, that's not it. Sorry, wrong one. Here we go. So, application by members of the National Assembly to Constitutional Court, Section 80 of the Constitution. Members of the National Assembly may apply to the Constitutional Court for an order declaring that all or part of an act of Parliament is unconstitutional. The application must meet 2 conditions. It must be supported by at least 1/3 of members of the National Assembly and must be made within 30 days of the date on which the President assented to and signed the act. The President signed the act on the 23rd of January. That means that the members of Parliament have only until about the 20th of February to send a letter to the Constitutional Court signed by 132 members of the 400-member Parliament, stating their objection and the constitutionality should be in question for that law. The court can then decide to put it in abeyance and put a freeze, an injunction against the law to prevent it from being implemented while they discuss the constitutionality of it. And then any reasonable court should determine that it's unconstitutional and it'll be wiped out. But the clock runs out after 30 days. After 30 days, the only way this gets changed is a new law gets voted in, which isn't going to happen while the ANC is in bed supporting EFF or supporting expropriation without compensation with the ANC. That's not going to happen. You're screwed. The only other way it's going to change is a lawsuit. A lawsuit will take months, weeks, years to get to court and be resolved. Even under an emergency notification, it's not going to be resolved. We still haven't got a resolution on Julius Malema killed the boar that Mark Oppenheimer was an advocate speaking on that. So the window is now. You must deluge your local councilors on your city council from every party that's sympathetic to turning this down. The DA, the IFP, Action SA, the Patriotic Alliance. You must besiege them. Maybe even the UDM, BOSA. Go tell them. And I don't want to hear, I don't want to hear anything. Email, telephone call. Start now. As soon as I'm done on Ronaldo's program, go write an email. Flood their emails. Make their servers crash. If you are wealthy in South Africa, take out full-page ads against the unconstitutionality of it, and take out full-page ads encouraging people to go to their members of parliament, their members of the local council, members of the provincial legislature. Do not stand for this. Do not stand for it. Get a permit to do a march on the union buildings. Get a permit to do a march on parliament. Get a permit to do something. Do it during the week, during the weekend. Make the country ungovernable legally, not illegally, within the constraints of the law. That's what you need to do. It doesn't matter whether your counselor is useless. Harass them. That's what they're there for, to answer your questions. And if they don't answer your question, ask it again. Ask it again. Ask it again. Let's start a new party. The New Hope Party. All right. I'm laughing. People think Cyril has two F's about he doesn't. Yeah, he doesn't give two craps. Awkward Leon's email my DA for 3 years to try to get my counselor without any response. Awkward Leon, have you gone and stood on his or her door? Hello? We'd like an appointment. An addict to what? They do nothing. They don't care. They're paid a group. Well, go stand in your parliamentary representative. For most people, that means people in Cape Town are going to have to do it. Yep, copy and paste emails. Do what you have to. But don't make it easy on them. I'm not saying that'll change it. But don't make it easy on them. Love your channel. Thank you for bringing our country to your country and the world. Well, I do that. It's my pleasure. Hi there, Chris. Elizabeth is back again. Hey, Elizabeth. I knew it was Elizabeth. That's what I said yesterday. I couldn't remember when we were later in the broadcast. Vernon says, BA better change tune or no more votes for me and my family. I'll vote for you for plus. At least Peter Hernevald is not a flip-flopper and has integrity. Oh, he definitely does. Peter Hernevald is a friend of mine. He is a good human being, and he means very well for all South Africans, not just for white South Africans or Afrikaners. He means well for everybody. At least that's my expectation experience with him. So that video I told you about a few moments ago is now at 8,300 from just 7,100. Just like 2-3 minutes ago, I mentioned that. That's some good news. Good news. All right. So thanks to 396 people currently here. Can't crash a server that has been down for 30 years, but you can stand in people's doorways. You can protest with signs legally. You can make life uncomfortable. And I could tell you a story about Joy's Brigade counselors, but not here. Okay. So many people don't even understand the danger of this. My family all think it's nothing to worry about. That's because they're not clued in, Evie. This is dangerous. And all this stuff aside, forget about land. Forget about land. Understand that the DA or the ANC wants money. How are they going to get it? They will expropriate your pension funds. They won't do it all once. Take a little bite. You're like, Cyril here can only eat so many pilchards at one time. But a little bit here, a little bit there, a little bit there. And next thing you know, your pension funds are gone. All your gains eaten away by the theft and confiscation of the government. But we need this in the public interest. And we can't give you money for money because what we give you for 100 Rand we took out of your pension fund, 100 Rand. So it's in the public interest that you give it to us. And of course, a lot of that money will be filtered right on over to the pockets of ANC politicians or used to fund the ANC's 114th birthday celebration or their next campaign for municipal elections. Take your pick. Take your pick. Need a new party. ANC will grab our property. Have a good audience here. Continue and I will do my stream. Ronaldo says, I'll keep going for a bit, Ronaldo, but then I'll come over and join you. All right, so I got it set up. So let me go for a bit longer, Ronaldo. Thank you. It's very kind of you. Troubling times. Good to have your input, says Leilu. They expropriated land between 2000 and 2008 in my area. Beautiful homes with tractors, crops, water pivots. They did it with compensation, gave it to the community, and nothing left. Exactly. Thank you. There's no need for this law. There's a mechanism in place, and it's not been used properly. Ronaldo says, cool beans. Yeah, it's very generous, Ronaldo. He asked me to come on and, and talk about this, and I'm happy to do it. It's also looking at very kind of him saying, hey, keep it going here. Yeah, we have a big audience here, so don't want to run off yet, but we'll stay for a bit longer. Then we'll go over to Ronaldo. So people, why do you think the government wants to go cashless so they can siphon your real money? I've seen a few reports that may be precursors for them slowly getting people ready to announce the pensions have already been looted. This may be to cover after the dead. Yep. My laundry is almost done. I'm going to wear everything that comes out the dryer. It sounds like Joey on Friends. Hello, I'm Chandler. Could I be wearing any more clothes? I'm just picturing Tony. I'm Chandler. Could I be wearing? That is so not getting even. Yeah, it was AfriForum that forced Ramaphosa to sign expropriation. Bring in Ronaldo, dude. I'd like to hear you both brainstorm and give your 2 cents. Ronaldo, do you want to come on here? Are you still here? He said he was going to go do his stream. He's probably disappeared for his stream, so it's too late. You should ask that sooner. Love how the ANC got mad at AfriForum for telling the world exactly what the ANC was doing. Exactly. You were treasonous. You told the Americans we were stealing land. Who are you? Stop it. Racist. 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 That's right. Neville. Fuck around and find out, ANC. Fuck around and find out. Listen to him earlier. He is spot on. Who, Ronaldo? What did Ronaldo say? You're all in love with Ronaldo. Said nobody's complimenting my videos. I brought you the news first. You're hurting my feelings. Cyril, you're hurting my feelings. There's just no hope. The only guy to do this task is Elon Musk. Come back and rule. No, Elizabeth, there is hope. Why are people ignoring what I just told you? There's a way to do this. JP Duploy, Eagles or Chiefs? Neither. I don't watch American football. They're a bunch of race hustlers and racists. The average starting salary in the National Football League is over $500,000 per year. About 9 million rand per year starting salary, more than anybody in South Africa makes in government. That's for rookies. Some people make tens of millions. $500,000 a year. 65% of the people playing the NFL are black. Andrew Hallgreen, thank you for subscribing. 65%. The American population is represented only by 11% folks being black, and that includes mixed race who consider themselves black. 11% of the population is black, but 65% of the NFL is black. Not because white players aren't qualified, but because the NFL decides to do that. They decided it was unfair that white folks be quarterbacks, so they pushed to have black quarterbacks in and change the style of the game. And frankly, it's become quite boring. There was a time there were talented, enjoyable quarterbacks. Patrick Mahomes is an exception, but he's mixed race. Is an exception, but their kneeling, their disrespect for this country and its patriotism, their wokeism, no, their ignorance of concussions. Master Rothman, thank you for subscribing. Their complete ignorance of the concussion situation for decades, which caused horrible brain injuries to athletes when they could have stopped it. Jacques Van Wyk, thank you. So the NFL is done. I'm done with them. They're just a bunch of race hustlers. And the NBA is the same way. 87% of the NBA players are black. 11% of the population is black. There are plenty of talented white players who can play basketball. We see them because they're brought in from abroad, but they don't let white Americans play. It's not about black and white, and that shit is behind us. Like, why does children get born, then get condemned because of BE? It's a joke. Just done with class here. Okay, Shawnee, cool. Matthew Stafford, JJ McCarthy. Stafford, pretty good quarterback. Don't know McCarthy. I stopped watching NFL. I hate that the world seems more racist now. It may just be because I don't want to know. Well, no, it's more racist than it was before Barack Obama. Barack Obama heralded this era. Barack Obama brought racism back in, and it started with the actions of a New Jersey professor who decided because he was drunk that he could be disrespectful and racist towards a New Jersey state trooper, and of course. He got away with it, and we had a beer with Obama. That's where it all started. And of course, Obama's hope and change, and he's going to fundamentally change America. He did that. And you can watch my television now, and you see every show with historical characters who are played by people ethnically that they didn't exist at the time. They weren't part of the situation. There were no black Vikings hanging out in Norway, in the fjords of Norway. No, they weren't. But there are in television shows. But God forbid that I let a white person play Shaka Zulu, or I let a white person play Zilkazi, or a white person play the Emperor of Sundata, or something like that. Not going to happen. Anyway, so yeah, it's been going on. Watch the commercials in America. 85% of the people in the commercials in America are black, but only 11% of the population is black. And it's not regional. It doesn't matter where I travel in the country, which metro I'm in, which television station I go to. All of them the same way. And if they're not black, they're mixed race. If they're not mixed race, they're a white woman with a black man, when that is the lowest interracial marriage percentage in the entire country. The highest interracial marriage percentage of folks marrying interracial in America is between white men and Asian women. Over 50% of all marriages in America that are interracial, which represent 18% of marriages now. So 9% of people getting married in America are white men to Asian women. Probably because American women have become so annoying. I don't know. Just kidding. I don't know what that is. Who knows why? I have nothing to lose. Any guy in the same boat, will you please run a new party? Go Mango. Black economic empowerment is full-blown racism. It is. White men can't jump. That's not true. I used to be able to dunk before I damaged my ankle. Melanie Gross, thank you for, or Grease, Gross, I can't see that clearly. Thank you for subscribing. Yep, let a white woman play Rosa Parks. Exactly, Helene. They'd lose their mind. They'd lose their mind. Hollywood. Yep. Pinul playing Chiru. What? What is Pinol doing with Kuru Churu? 80 rand for a tray of 30 large eggs. Most hurdles in the NFL are done by white players. I have no idea what you're talking about. Marxists create the social divisions amongst races. They do. It's not about race. Race is an artificial construct. Yep. Anyway, there you have it, folks. 340 people. We lost about 40 people or 50 people to go watch Ronaldo. Yeah, I saw that. Rory Galley, thank you for that. The video I did on the DA is up to 9,700 views now. So let's see what comments have shown up on that one. 342 comments. Wow, am I going to get excoriated? I've always said the DA is bad. Yep, not voting for DA. I should never vote for the DA again. Helen Steele's Black Sash. Say it again, don't vote for Big Blue Mule. It's not a bubble. They knew they were doing. Hopefully this was the last election, their last election. Always suspected John is a World Economic Forum fan. Okay, well, mostly it's coming in. DA sold us out. Yep, for placing the gravy train. Okay, well, most people that are responding are do have some dislikes, 12 dislikes. So they must have ginned up the DA crowd to come in and dislike my video. Because I'll tell you what, I guarantee you those 12 dislikes, which is more than I get in a video normally, aren't coming from Black South Africans. If I criticize the DA, Black South Africans, a lot of them are going to be happy about that. These are the pro DA crowd who've come in. So by contrast, I got 19 on that one. Yeah. Anyway, so getting some dislikes, but that comes with more viewers watching the stuff. So anyway, going to go over 10,000 on that video here shortly. All right. Builders, what's this slogan from a will build? What? I don't know what you're saying. John failed as an agriculture minister. He hasn't addressed farm murders. Yeah, well, awkward Leon. No, he hasn't. He hasn't even brought up farm murders. But he's not going to, because the DA has never been really serious about farm murders. Members of the DA have talked about it. Marianella Radaman, thank you for subscribing. Members have talked about it. I interviewed a member of parliament from Gauteng back when my channel got shut down a few years ago. I had to do it on Facebook in 2021. And so some DA folks have talked about it, but the party doesn't talk about it. Western Cape, 745, thank you. God forbid you mentioned Shaka Zulu buried his own people alive so that they would mourn with him. Yep. Thoughts on Pinol Colonel? He seems to have a lot of hatred when himself towards other races. I haven't seen that from him, James Moriarty, Gideon Joubert. I do know that people asked me to get Pinol on. I contacted Pinol, and I forget how that went. I don't want to misspeak whether he responded or not. Yeah, Pinol has been getting a little more off the deep end of late, I would say. Antoinette, hello to you. Jean de Isnads. That's an interesting name. Yeah, so Kurtz likes and dislikes just to mess with the algorithm. Okay. Who's going to govern the Western Cape when the DA loses enough support to lose this majority? Well, maybe a new party. Damn, Chris, traitors running to the opposing side. If Cyril can complain, so can I. He's selective seeing, but I can't say it. Oh, I promised to play the Trump interview from last night. So this is from Donald Trump last night on the tarmac in Andrews Air Force Base. I can get this up here real quick.
So you said that you were going to cut.
Okay, so they caught him on the tarmac in Andrews Air Force Base, and this is what he had to say last night, Donald Trump.
So you said that you were going to cut aid from South Africa. Will you plan to cut aid across other African nations, and why South Africa?
No, it's only South Africa. Terrible things are happening in South Africa. The leadership is doing some terrible things, horrible things. So that's under investigation right now. We'll make a determination. And until such time as we find out what South Africa is doing, they're taking away land, they're confiscating land, and actually they're doing things that are perhaps far worse than that.
And on the back.
That's what Donald Trump had to say last night around, I think, 6:30, maybe 7 o'clock last night, talking about what was going on. So people are leaving now. I guess they went to Ronaldo. We lost 100 people to Ronaldo. Oh, you treasonous bastards. You know what interests me? Whites voted to end apartheid, but blacks don't vote to end BE. I never heard them speaking about farm murders. Some black South Africans do. Some black South Africans do. Yep. Thank you, Trump. 120. What's that? Best tie in a long while. So I'm on both. Okay. Yeah, they can have Nancy Pelosi. We'll pay for her to go. So I take it the DA won't file a Section 80. If so, I will do everything in my power to take votes away from DA. I don't know, Jacques. I don't know. I seem to be the only person talking about it. The Freedom Front Plus brought it up first. In immediate aftermath, they've been silent. I'm going to write to Dr. Herneval and ask him what's going on. Rion Peters, thank you for subscribing. So I'll write to him and Corny Mulder and see if I can't find out what's going on with Section 80 challenge. But the DA has never said anything about it. They didn't say it in the press conference. They're acting as if they don't know what the Constitution is. They're not going to challenge it. So, you know, I don't know what to tell you. It's right there in the Constitution. These people think we're stupid. We can't read the Constitution. I've got the Constitution in front of me. It's a matter of public record. I've read it. It's not difficult to understand. Lloyd DeYoung said he's keen to stream with you if you're interested. Okay, I don't know who Lloyd DeYoung is. Where do I find Lloyd DeYoung? And Lloyd DeYoung. Okay, hang on a second. Let me see if I can find him. He's on YouTube, I presume. Okay, copy Lloyd DeYoung. A lot of people are reaching out to me right now, folks. So let me see if I can find him. Ronaldo is online. Okay. And he's got 125. You know, he stole 100 of my viewers. That's how he's got 125. Why is this thing not? There we go. Lloyd DeYoung. Okay. Apartheid. Too few Lloyds. Is that who he is? Is he a colored gentleman? Is he a colored gentleman? Okay. Quite honestly, I don't think they'll get support through Section 80. DA support ANC and have EFF MK backing. Well, frankly, the DA has a chance to, you know, if they say it's illegal. But we've seen where they've turned. The DA basically got up at the press conference when they talked about the expropriation without compensation law. All they did was whine. Cyril didn't tell us. He disrespected us. We weren't the only ones. He did it to PA too. This is a coalition. I don't see how we go forward if we can't work together. Oh, please, Cyril. More soup, sir. Please, more soup. I'm so hungry. Yeah, the DA, instead of actually saying, listen, we want to follow Section 80 objection to this with the Constitutional Court. We're trying to seek 132 members of Parliament. We believe it's unconstitutional and go from there. But no, they whine. And now here they are a few days later, and they came out today after Trump's action saying, so today they exposed themselves, the DA. They exposed themselves for who they really are. They don't give a shit about South Africans. This isn't about black, white, and brown. This is about expropriation of your property and cowing political opposition. That's what it's about. And they can mealy mouth and, well, no, we can't. No. We're not stupid. We can read the law. We can also read the existing constitutional section. We know what's going on here. The DA whined that Ramaphosa left him out. Now that John has had his ego stroke and he's been patted on the head like a good little servant boy showing up at the master's house. Yeah, I can picture this now, man. Here comes John talking to, so here's Cyril. Cyril's over here. Herman Murray, welcome you. Here's Cyril, okay? And John walks in. Hey, boss. Boss. What do we have to do? The DA is here for you. The DA is here for you, boss. Hey, boss. Yeah, that's right. Wow. If you consider becoming a political impersonator, and closed my eyes and saw Johnny Boy. Cyril, John, get back on your feet. It's embarrassing. Someone's already polished my shoes. Lee Friend Blinglong says, hello, Colonel. You don't buy a good. Thanks for standing up for us. We appreciate it very much. You're very welcome. Thank you for subscribing to my channel. I appreciate it very much. Deval Kuglenberg says, we need Neil De Beer, Ronaldo, Gate McKenzie, and Freedom Front to come together. Freedom Front Plus is and is teamed up with ANC to topple DA in Western Cape. Both the DA and Freedom Front Plus are effing around. No, African idiot, that's a factually incorrect statement. The counselor that you're talking about who did that has been suspended by the Freedom Front Plus and he'll be replaced. I know what you're talking about in swelling down. That's not what happened. So that counselor voted against the Freedom Front Plus's interest and direction and caused the DA mayor to be unseated. The Freedom Front Plus has removed that counselor and will replace that counselor, and then they will vote, most likely with the DA. But they are arguing over it, no doubt about it. Okay. What else? I make sure they are shiny. Shucks, Chris, I swear you were South African in a previous life. No. Ek is American. Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness. Cyril. You know these things stink, right? Not this one. Cyril doesn't smell, but those jackass penguins are nasty little buggers. All right, folks, let me see what's going on here real quick before we break contact We're at 27,596 subscribers, 11,200 views in that video I released in about an hour and a half ago. Or about an hour and 15 minutes ago, actually. Yeah. Was Smuts really a Freemason? I have no idea, Dave, and I'm not really sure how it's germane or relevant to what we're talking about. All DA leadership has radical leftist histories and close relations with ANC, like Zilla, who has affairs with some. I have no idea what you're talking about there, too, Cuddly. That's an interesting statement, though. Methinks the DA voters have a bit mud in their face now. Come be my neighbor. Won't you be my? It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood. It's a beautiful day for neighbors. Won't you be my neighbor? Mr. Rogers, yeah. No, okay, folks, that's going to do it. I'm going to go over to Ronaldo. It's been a long night. Jacques, it's been a long 2 weeks. Starting January 18th. From 18th, I've been pushing through consistently. Have you smelled cereal? Reporter asked about Africa. Trump right away mentioned South Africa. Business is in Trump sites. Yeah, BE, ANC. Yep, yeah, they got it. He is looking at South Africa. Any news on the passport debacle, carte blanche? Samuel, I haven't heard about what's the passport debacle with carte blanche. What is carte blanche reporting? Carte blanche reporting. I haven't seen that story. I don't get to watch carte blanche from here. It's blacked out for me. Did you get any decent sleep once you went to sleep? Yeah, I went to bed. I didn't go to bed at 3 this morning, Boone Dancer. I went to bed about 4:30. I put my Orca files on and rewatched the episode that I drifted off for a nap last night for a few minutes and watched that one in its entirety. And then I went to bed just before 5 o'clock. I was up at 7. So I got about 2 hours sleep. Please keep speaking up for us, parents whose children will never get employment. Yeah, I am, Colin. I am, and I have been. And when I come back to South Africa shortly, in a matter of weeks, I'd appreciate if people show up for events. Come to the meet and greets. We can. I'm thinking now I might do some speeches about this. Find a place to do this. So I'll need help coordinating that, because if I come and try to do a speech at a winery, they're probably not going to want that, chase business away. But if I go to a hotel, they might not want it. So come and do speeches about these events. So I'm going to need venues for this. We'll talk about what's happening about U.S. relations and about what's going on in South Africa. So this H21 program for our young farmer boys is still going. It's H2. Yeah, that is still going, Peter. In fact, Paul Farrell is from Clarence, and Paul has taken advantage of it a couple of times. And thousands of South Africans are coming to U.S. for that visa. Yep. So, see you on Ronaldo, folks. Your combination is ready. There you go. Northcliffe, I'm good to go. Thank you, Marilyn. All right, ladies and gentlemen. See you on Ronaldo in a couple minutes. Then watch my other content. God bless and have a lovely, lovely day. It's always a pleasure, and I do appreciate your support. I really, really do. And you see that, folks, I don't give up. I still engage with my audience, no matter how large it is, how many people are here. So thank you so much. Catch you shortly on Ronaldo. Bye-bye.